everyone, we're going to be bringing you 4,000 points of 30K today, Horus Heresy. We've got 4,000 points of Traitorous Death Guard versus 4,000 points of Squats with Mech allies. So the mission we're going to be playing today relies upon 5 objectives, which we have all taken turns placing in the middle of the board. So they're all out there in no man's land. That's going to be the primary scoring for the game. At the beginning of every player's turn, you're going to score 1 point for controlling an objective. And we're also playing Warlord and Attrition. Attrition's worth D3 points for the side that's done the most casualties.
Dominus and an Aviant. Normal Magos Dominus. Units, 6 Salax. 1 unit has 2 Photon Thrusters. The other is all Chain Blades. 2 2-man units of Castle Axes with enhanced targeting arrays and frag grenades. And 2 3-man units of Vorax with enhanced targeting arrays, frag grenades, and biocorrosive ammunition, which gives them poisoned.
Awesome.
Useful things that we have.
Pat, are you ready to let us know what you got for Squats?
I got Squats, which is 30K Militia, Add Humans, and Survivors of a Long War. These are counts as servitors with plasma fusils, and they have 2 little tech dudes that run them. 5 squads of 20 squats. Here's their Medicae. They're armed with Laszlocks. Here's my Warlord. And these are my counts as artillery batteries. Basilisk Unit 1, Basilisk Unit 2, Basilisk Battery Unit 3, with 4 dudes apiece.
Awesome. Alright, looks good. So that rounds out 4,000 points of Squats and AdMech. Panning across the table, we got 4,000 points of Traitorous Death Guard over here. Talk through 2,000 real quick. We've got Callous Typhon leading a 20-man squad attack Marines. We've got 5 Grave Wardens mounted up in this Land Raider over here. We got another Land Raider with 5 Death Shroud in it. And we've got 10 Assault Marines and 2 Vindicators leading the charge with their Cordis Contemptor. And then for the other 2K, what you got, Mike?
The other 2,000, I have 2 units of tactical squads. The sergeant has rag grenades in each one. They're not quite right yet because I'm still trying to get all the pieces. I have 2 units of heavy flamers. Again, they're mounted up in rhinos there and over there. The sergeants also have rag grenades. The rhinos have heavy flamers with chem munitions everywhere on everything because Death Guard.
Kill it with fire.
Kill it with chemical fire.
Yeah.
I have 2 rapier batteries. They're the heavy the heavy bolter ones, not the laser rapiers. Reasons. a unit of missile launchers. Then let's see, where else am I? I have my Land Raider over yonder with Ceramite armor and a unit of Death Shrouds, 5-man in there. A unit of Grave Wardens hidden behind them. And a veteran tactical squad with marksmen in a rhino that also has heavy flamer with chem munitions in the squad and on the rhino.
Awesome, and that rounds out 4,000 points of Death Guard Traitors for our 4,000 point 30K game. And now for the most important roll of the game.
Yes, Knife Lane is infect.
It is an infect. First one. So the dwarfs have decided to seize and fail.
We should use binary.
Alright, so we're kind of finishing up turn 1 here, game turn 1. And for a little bit of a recap, so basically what happened on Death Guard took the first turn. And obviously we know one command is forward march. So Death Guard made an advance. You can see everything moved up, basically max speed, except for our infantry with the missile launchers here in the back. We're able to get on a couple of objectives. We got one there that attack squad is actually sneaking through on, and we still have this squad unless they break at the end of this turn. This squad here will be on this objective in that crater. So we're stand to possibly score a couple of points here at the beginning of our turn. As for casualties, the Land Raiders and Vindicators opened up, just did a couple of wounds on Borax. Typhus' orbital bombardment took out a couple of squats, and that was it. So returning fire, the Borax and multiple volleys of artillery did some pretty good casualties on the Death Guard, took out, immobilized this Vindicator, blew up this Vindicator, immobilized this Land Raider, exploded the Rhino that these vets were in. They did not take enough casualties to do morale, so that's good. Took out a piece of artillery over on the flank there, and took some hull points and off this Rhino.
Took the whole point off the Rhino.
Took the whole point off this Rhino. So, standing to try to retaliate.
That was a melted gun, I think.
Okay, so yeah, that was a melted gun from these squats, and then these squats were able to run forward and cap that objective if we can't push them off of it, and they're probably going to keep that one on their turn too. So, we'll try to retaliate here from a pretty withering round of fire from the Imperial side. And that was end of game turn 1.
Alright, so, scoring. Troops yet? Troops yet? Alright.
You pass your leadership.
Alright, so, end of 2.
Alright, let's recap end of 2.
Crap died.
A lot of crap died. So some Grave Wardens got out of a Land Raider over here. You can see they no longer occupy the space that they once existed in. So the Warlord for the squats juices up these guys over here with their AP2 now. Salvo 3 basically plasma guns. Wipe them off the table. These AdMech troops ran up, forced a brake check on this Assault Marine, so he's falling back, and they're now, did they rally?
No,
they have rallied.
Yeah, we haven't
So
done that yet.
if they don't rally, those guys are possibly going to be holding that token there. Our Rhinos moved up, our tac squad moved up to try to hold that objective, but then got blasted off of it. Some Land Raiders maneuvered, got some shots. There were like, what, 45 flamer hits on these squats?
And then an equal number of Laszlocks in return.
They retaliated and wiped out the squad.
Nice.
And then Death Shrouds are holding the line up there.
Yeah, Death Shroud are pushing slowly but surely, chopping through a bunch of squats over here, still holding on to that objective for us, so they're doing good work. And then the Contemptor got blown up by these Borax. So moving on to Death Guard and game turn 3. Alright, I'm going to try to a recap of game turn 3. So it's been a pretty brutal turn as the Death Guard continue to advance, only to be stymied in some locations by the Imperial forces. So looking over on the left flank, the Death Guard's left, these Death Shroud Terminators jumped up out of this metal box, and they've been doing a little bit of work on these squats over here. What are these guys called? Castellax came in and helped out these squats against these Death Shroud. Took a couple of models off the table. You can see that it's like 4 out of 8 nondescript metal boxes for the Death Guard side have been turned over and exploded.
Look at the 5.
Completely lost the right flank over here as these troop choices sit on this token objective over here. The squats hold this one back here. A lot of these fuselage plasmas and all these AdMechs were able to take out the rest of the Death Guard infantry on the right flank.
Look out, sir.
So, and then we're going to be looking at a morale check. I'm gonna go do that morale check from the shooting phase.
Armor save.
Okay. Oh, for them? Okay, great. So these guys in the middle, they actually passed their morale. And so we're holding the middle there on that objective. So Death Guard are basically playing an objective game right now, trying to score some victory points. As all these ordnance-producing units are still in the back for the scouts, and we've also remembered that Pat should actually have 50 more squats on the table right now that never actually got tied up before they made it to the battlefield. So he paid the points for those, and we just forgot about them.
I forgot my 50-man levy squad.
And this is still the carnage that we're looking at on the table right now. So Death Guard have a real good fight on their hands, and we'll see how it plays out. They're just trying to score victory points at this point. End of game turn 3. Turn 4 wrap up looks like 3 points for the Death Guard, 4 points for the Ad Mech and Squats. We've lost a squad of Death Shroud, but we've got a couple of squat units on the run. Well, not on the run, but hopefully gonna die soon.
No, they're running.
And got Grey Wardens hanging tough over here. We got attack squad sitting on this objective, so we'll be scoring 1 more point, try to catch up on objective points here. And we basically lost the whole right flank. That being said, there's still supposed to be another 50 squats on the table, so Death Guard trying to do what they can, but looks like we might be getting overrun. End of turn 4. Alright, this is a fitting death, to say the least. No Death Guard could ask for more. Callous Typhon.
Getting swamped by robots.
Surrounded. He cries aloud for one last reaping blow. Makes 7 armor saves.
Invul saves. They're 8d2 for monstrous creatures.
7 invulnerable saves. Fails 4 of them.
He's got 4 wounds.
He's only got 3. This isn't the end. No, he doesn't have
No,
fill
he's
of
not
pain.
Primarch, so the Vorax just slaughtered him.
I shall return.
Alright. So,
Alright, we're basically...
Yep, bottom of 5. So we 2 Warlord kills for the Loyalists. And then D3 for... I'm pretty sure we slaughtered more things than you did. D3 was a 5, so that's going to be 3 points. Final score, Loyalists 11, Traitors 4.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, for the amount of crap that died.
Alright, well, a really, really fun, exciting game here. 4,000 points of 30K, Death Guard versus Imperium. Definitely had a lot of fun with it. Death Guard did what they live to do, which is forward march. And Imperium, man, that was a good list. It was like a lot of skeet shooting from the back and robots up the left flank. So, anyways, really good game. Hope y'all enjoyed watching.